So today, we need to talk about the biggest decision Steve Sarkisian has still yet to make as the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, and that is, who will the starting quarterback be? Will it be Casey Thompson or Hudson Card? This is a massive decision, but I also want to talk about some offensive playmakers and specifically a true freshman that I think is going to be a massive addition to the Texas Longhorns. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down in the comments, let me know who you have winning the quarterback job. Will it be Casey Thompson, who has the experience, or will the projection of Hudson Card win over? I cannot wait to hear what y'all are thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content, and you don't want to miss any of it. And if you did enjoy this content, be sure to like and comment down below. But with all of that being said, let's talk about this, because this is the biggest decision Steve Sarkisian has yet to make as the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, and it is a big decision. Now, we have heard some positive news from Sark in his post-scrimmage interview after scrimmage number 2. After scrimmage number 2, Steve Sarkisian went on to say that both quarterbacks were playing winning football, but if he had to pick that evening, he thought he could have picked a starter, but he wasn't about to tell the media. And first and foremost, you're talking to an Alabama fan. I cannot fault him at all for that. I am of the mindset that if you have this close of a competition and both of these guys are really neck and neck, why give your opponent any sort of advantage, especially when you're opening the schedule with two tough opponents? And I get it, there might be some people rolling their eyes, but do not discount Louisiana. That is a really solid team. They return a lot, and they are phenomenally coached. Billy Napier is a name to keep in your mind if you're looking at who could be the next coach at a prominent program. He's a name to watch out for. And then the next week, you have to go play Arkansas, who looks to be a much improved team. So this is a big decision, but it begs the question, which will win out? Will the experience that Casey Thompson brings to the table best the projection that Hudson Card has? Because Casey Thompson played very well in the bowl game. He had a really impressive outing, and he looked to take that into the spring, and he didn't disappoint in the spring game. Aside from that one interception, he had a good day. But Hudson Card had some throws that really showed why those around the program are so high on his potential. Because when everything is clicking and he's playing with confidence, he's making some really impressive throws, such as that touchdown throw he had. That was a really impressive throw. It was a jaw-dropping throw. And it goes to show why those around the program are enthralled with his ability. He can make all the throws when everything's going right. It's just about, can he do that consistently? And that's exactly why I asked in the beginning, do you think that the experience will beat out the projection? Because either way, I think Steve Sarkisian has a good problem on his hands. He has two quarterbacks that, as he said after Saturday, are playing winning football. Now, it is best to have a clear indication of who the guy is, but it's never a bad thing knowing that either guy you turn to is going to be able to play a brand of football that you at least have faith in. It is going to be really important to see who is named the starter. Both guys are capable, but if you had to ask me, and if I had to give you an answer right now, and this is purely my opinion, I think the answer is probably going to be Hudson Card, and the reason is very simple. For as talented as Casey Thompson is, and he is a very talented quarterback, I think if it is this close, you go with the guy that has more time on campus, because he has more time to be molded into the quarterback you would like, and you can have continuation with the quarterback position going into next year. And that's especially important for the Texas Longhorns to have some continuity when they just had an entirely new coaching staff come in. For Sark to be able to go into year 2 as the Longhorns head coach with a quarterback that he has familiarity with will be a massive benefit going forward. So if I had to guess, I would pick Hudson Card. But I think we need to realize, as much as this is Sark's decision, this is the team's decision. The team will rally around one of these individuals, and that's the guy that will win the job, because they have to be the ones to play with this guy. And as much faith as the quarterback has to have in the team around him, the team has to have faith in the quarterback. But speaking of the team, there are some individuals I think Texas is looking to this year to have a big year, and the obvious name is Bijan Robinson. Probably the most talented individual in that Texas team, easily one of the most talented running backs in the nation. Bijan is an individual I think the eyes of college football are on to see not only how he's utilized by Steve Sarkisian, but the type of year this young man's going to have. He has all the talent you could ever ask for at the running back position, and as such, he should be a massive feature for this offense. But Steve Sarkisian and them went out and got a transfer back from Alabama in Keelan Robinson, who is a really intriguing back in what he's able to do. Nick Saban said in the spring that they were looking at Keelan Robinson to have some reps at that slot wide receiver position, which really just goes to show the depth of his ability. And now if you're Texas, you're looking at that knowing you can pair that with Bijan Robinson to keep a defense off balance. So I think both of those guys are in for a big year for the Longhorns because what it is they'll allow for the offense to be able to do as a whole. But there's one individual I am really interested in this season for the Longhorns, a true freshman wide receiver who, in my opinion, is going to be a massive addition to this offense, and that is Xavier Worthy. And the question could be asked, why do I think a true freshman is going to make such a big impact on a team that already has an individual with the talent of Bijan Robinson? And the answer to that is very simple, because Xavier Worthy provides this Texas wide receiver room with something they desperately needed: a downfield threat, and a legitimate one. This guy is a straight-up blazer. He has speed in troves, and he has the ability to keep a defense honest. That is awesome for the whole offense, because right now, going into this season, if you didn't have that, there are talented individuals on that receiving core. I don't discount that. But the lack of ability to have a defense respect someone going over top makes it all the more difficult for Bijan to really have the type of impact you're looking for him to have. When you have a guy that can threaten the defense vertically, and now all of a sudden they can't as easily stack the box, now Bijan is allowed to flourish in multiple ways, whether that's traditional running back schemes or getting him involved in the passing game. The defense isn't allowed to key in as much on Bijan because they can get hurt behind them with a guy such as Xavier Worthy. But it's not just going to open it up for Bijan and for Keelan Robinson. Those individuals are going to be beneficiaries of what it is Xavier Worthy does. But the other wide receivers will all of a sudden have more opportunities. If we look at a guy like Jordan Whittington, very talented wide receiver, but having a wide receiver that can legitimately stretch the field is going to open up things for him as well, because now the defense can't simply focus on more underneath routes and he can just eat up yards. The addition of Xavier Worthy fixes something for this Texas Longhorns, and it makes the defense respect them in a way that otherwise they might not have done. Look, I'm really high on Troy Omeire. He's an individual who I want nothing more than to have a big season for the Texas Longhorns. But the fact of the matter is, with him being banged up, the importance of Xavier Worthy is only magnified. And I get it, Omeire might not be banged up for more than a few weeks. I certainly hope that's the case. I would love to see him get a healthy season together, because I think he, along with Worthy, would be a really intriguing tandem for this Texas offense. It would really help the quarterback and Bijan Robinson. But the simple fact of it is with him being banged up right now, the importance of Xavier Worthy has only increased. And hearing the coaching staff in these post-scrimmage interviews talking about how he has been impressive should excite all Texas fans. Hop down in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. First and foremost, let me know, who do you think wins this quarterback battle? Will it be Casey Thompson, or will the projection win out and Hudson Card ultimately be the guy? And then let me know what you're expecting from playmakers on this offense. I pinpointed Xavier Worthy as a guy that I think is going to have a massive impact on this offense, whether or not it translates and hit numbers for him, but I think his impact will be felt for multiple position groups, whether that's Bijan, whether that's Keelan Robinson, Troy Omeire, or even Jordan Whittington. But I'm really interested in hearing who your offensive playmakers you're looking forward to watching are. That's it. See ya.